Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alicia. Today we're going to be talking about all of the books that I plan to read or hope to read in the month of June. Let's get right into the video. So I do have a couple of obligations that I need to get to, but before we talk about those, I wanted to talk about some of the books that have carried over from previous months and get those out of the way because I am still planning on reading them and finishing them. And so the first one of those is going to be Exhalation by Ted Chiang. I want to say that I started this sometime in March. Yes, mid-March, and I didn't get to finish it because I had other obligations then, and I did not in any way want to rush through this collection of short stories because I am thoroughly enjoying all of them, and it was just easier to put this down because I didn't stop in the middle of a plot. I was at the end of a short story and I didn't need to start the new one, so I picked it back up last night and read the next one, and I'm already a little bit over halfway through, still thoroughly enjoying this collection, and I can't wait to finish it this month. The next book that is carrying over is Tomb of Sand by Geetanjali Shree. This is now the winner of the International Booker Prize. It did win for 2022. I'm still pretty stoked to go ahead and continue reading it. As you can see, I barely made a dent. It is a little bit over 700 pages. I'm a little bit over 100 pages, so most likely this is going to be a project for several months, but I'm excited for the plot to eventually pick up and to continue reading it and see what my thoughts are on it. The last and final book that carried over from May? Wow, it's already June. The last and final book that I'm carrying over from May is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This was my pick for my Latin America reading project. In the month of May, I had to read a book from a Colombian author. Gabriel Garcia Marquez is Colombian, so I ended up picking this one up. I'm holding the English version for you, but I'm reading both the English and Spanish side by side. The reason for that is because I started the Spanish one and realized that my Spanish vocabulary is very limited, and that's probably because I haven't used a lot of the Spanish vocabulary that I used to in a very long time. I don't speak to a lot of people in Spanish, so I think my plan will be to just stick to the English version for now, just because I understand more words in English, and then start reading either more middle grade books or young adult books in Spanish to again build up my vocabulary and my confidence in the language. So I'm excited to also continue with 100 Years of Solitude, and this is another one that I will be reading in between books, reading a chapter a day sort of thing, and it'll take me however long it takes me to finish it. I am in no rush, and I definitely do not want to rush through this one either. So now on to new books. I'm really excited. So this month's book club pick for the Lit in Translation book club is A Hero Born, and this is by Yong. I will be reading this with Charmaine from over at Traveling Through Books. She will be my co-host this month in June. This month in June. We're thinking that the live show is probably going to be the last weekend in June, if not the first weekend in July, which is like the first or the second. I will go ahead and post the date on Instagram once we announce it or during my next video. So if you want to join, this is the book club pick for the Lit in Translation book club. So the country for my Latin America reading project this month is Brazil, and this month I decided to choose the posthumous Memoirs of Cubas by Machado de Assis. They are a Brazilian author. Now, if this book looks familiar to you from my channel, it's because it's been on a different TBR or maybe a book haul. You know what? I think it was part of a book haul, so I don't feel bad about it. So yes, I will finally be tackling this book. I believe during that book haul, someone commented and they actually told me to start with a different book by Machado de Assis. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'll put it up on the screen. I have added that book to my TBR, so thank you. I briefly want to mention this. Down below, I have a link to my bookshop account. It is an affiliate link, so if you do buy something through that link or whatever, I get a small percentage of it. It's like a few dollars for every book. I don't even know if it's a few dollars. It's a very small percentage, but that's not the point of me telling you this. So in my actual bookshop account, I made a couple of different lists where I divide the list by countries and I add books that belong to that particular country. So I do have a list for Brazilian authors in case you are looking to read a Brazilian author this month and you're having trouble finding one. There's also lists for previous months as well as my top books of the year for 2021 and 2020, I believe. So it can be a reference guide for you. You don't have to purchase things through those links. You can buy them elsewhere, but it could be a resource for you to find books. So I did want to go ahead and point that out. So the posthumous Memoirs of Cubas is about this ghost that decides to write a memoir. It sounds like it's going to be satirical, and you know, I'm not sure if I'm in the mood for satire, but I mean, it's about to be summer, so there is no better time for satire than summer, I feel like. My next obligation this month is another book that I'm very excited for, and this is going to be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I will be buddy reading this with Evie. I'm really excited to pick this one up because I did read, wow, my memory today is just terrible. The Starless Sea, that took way too long. So I ended up reading The Starless Sea last year? Yes, I read The Starless Sea last year, and I thought it was going to be my favorite book of 2021 up until about like the 75% mark. Just the way that The Starless Sea wrapped up didn't necessarily work for me. I can go ahead and link the video down below where I go more into depth, but I still really loved her writing and I still really loved her storytelling. So round 2. Plus, I've heard that if you love The Starless Sea, you won't love The Night Circus and vice versa. So maybe I'm just gonna be a bigger fan of The Night Circus. This might be my book. I have no idea what this book is about. I think it's about a magical circus, and that's all I need to know. I want to be surprised. I want to fall in love. So that's The Night Circus. The last physical book on this list is Dread Nation. This is by Justina, Ireland. And as you can see, I already started it. I'm about a chapter or 2 in. This is the book that I'm currently actively reading, or will actively read after this video. This was a recommendation from Charmaine for my reading 12 books recommended by 12 friends challenge on Instagram. So as some of you may recall, Exhalation is also one of those books. Exhalation was recommended to me by Hillary over at Bookborn, and I'm behind, y'all. I've only read 2 books from that list, and I'm supposed to be 6 books in. So even though the books that I just spoke about are my priorities, I want to try to finish Dread Nation, Exhalation, and then also start The City of Brass, which is also on that list. The entire Dabblebabb trilogy is on that list, actually. So I feel like summer is a really good time for me to read fantasy, and it's usually when I read a lot of it. For some reason, it tends to be either summer or fall that I tend to gravitate towards fantasy a lot. So I feel like it's a perfect time to start picking up that series, and hopefully I can also start one of those books this month and also finish it. So we'll see how it goes. So from the little that I've heard about this book, it's not only a historical critique of post-Civil War America, but there's also zombies in this book, and I'm living for this. So I will go ahead and give you more of my thoughts in my next reading update video. So those are my official reading plans. Those are the books that I really hope to get to. If for some reason I end up reading all of those books, which is already a pretty hefty stack, it's an intimidating TBR for me. In the past, I used to read a good 10 to 12 books every single month. Now it's looking more like 5 to 7 books a month. Totally fine, but in the event that I do get through these books, just because I am having more energy and more time to read, I really want to get through some arcs that I got from NetGalley. The first one of those is The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I actually already started this book. I'm about 3 to 4 chapters in, I want to say, and okay, even though I'm about 3 chapters in, I still really have no idea what it's about. I think it's either supposed to be a loose retelling or inspired by The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. You know, so it is flirting with the sci-fi genre, which I'm here for it. I love Silvia Moreno Garcia's writing, and I love that she doesn't stick to any particular genre, so I'm really excited to see what she does with this book in particular. Now, have I read the original? No, I haven't. I have no idea what The Island of Dr. Moreau is about. All I know in this book is that there's a girl, she lives on an island with her dad, and her dad is doing some study or experiment or something like that. I have no idea, but I will find out for you. I believe The Daughter of Dr. Moreau comes out in July, so I want to go ahead and have a review for you before it comes out. So yes, that is quite the ambitious TBR, for me at least. I know it's been a while since I've filmed out here. I really like filming outdoors. It gives me so much energy, and I know I stopped for a while because we were into winter and it got really cold. It was really dark outside all of the time, but I think I'm going to start it back up unless, I don't know, my neighbors keep making noise and you can't hear me or anything. But let me know what you like. If you like the videos outside, can definitely go ahead and keep on doing them. So if you've made it this far, leave a sun down below in hopes of sunnier weather, warmer weather, because I'm loving it right now. It feels like we have one sunny day where it's nice and warm, and then we have a few days of rain and cold, and I just want the sun to stay, you know? So, thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.